Hello. One sec, guys. I'm having technical difficulty this morning. Oh my gosh, that took way too much effort. Okay, good morning. If you're new here, my name is Gal. I am a curly hairstylist in Ottawa, Canada. Oh my goodness. And most mornings, most Wednesdays, pretty much every Wednesday, I go live with my hair routine, walking you through how I style this. This is what my hair looks like, pretty much air dried, unstyled. I mean, to be fair, I did exactly what I tell you guys not to do last night because I'm a little burnt out because I just got back from New York. And I went to bed with my hair about 90% dry. I highly recommend you always go to bed with your hair 100% dry because going to bed with a damp scalp can contribute to scalp issues. But I was very, very tired yesterday. And this is kind of the result of that. So you can see what's going on here. The hair is a little wild today. I feel like it's very dark in here today. Does that make it worse or better? Made absolutely no difference. Can I turn this up a little bit? Oh, that's maybe a little bit better. Okay, so basically we're gonna go through my hair routine. First thing I'm gonna do is saturate my hair. Also, by the way, the reason I was in New York is because I was getting my Rezo Level 1 certification. It is both cut training to learn how to do a Rezo cut, and it is also highlighting training to learn the Rezo Lights highlighting technique. It was amazing. You also learn about their styling techniques, which I thought was really, really interesting. They actually style very differently than how we style in the salon. A lot more for volume, a lot less for definition. They do not care about definition over volume, like they really style for volume there. So I really took a lot away from that. Yeah, it was really, really interesting. So I learned a lot at their training, like so much. I cannot wait to start using it in the salon right away. I thought it was a really, really valuable training. But that was amazing, and I went with Leah. A lot of you guys have met Leah already, my colleague in the salon, and we had a great time in New York. So let's get started. Let's get my hair wet. I wonder if I can just do it in the sink. Probably not. I think I have to really get it wet here. Okay, so one of the things they talked about, which you guys know I already do this, is 80% water, 20% product when you are styling your hair. So I think that's a really good way of putting it. I've never put it in those words before, but I think it's a really good way to kind of visualize how wet your hair needs to be when you're applying your styling products. You should be doing 80% water, 20% products when you're distributing your products through your hair. Cold. is now wet. So I'm now going to go in with my styling products. So in the summer, and guys, I want you to think we've just kind of had a change in season in a lot of different places in the world. So depending on where you're joining me from, if you're somewhere where you have different seasons, I want you to think about how has the weather changed? Are you now dealing with more humidity? I know that's the case. Or is it drier now where you live? Has your hair's needs changed? Because sometimes you need to slightly change your products with the seasons. You might not need to change all of your products, but you might need to swap out like one of the products or add a product with the seasons to get the same results. So for example, in the winter, I use I Create Volume and I Create Definition as my two main styling products. In the summer, I have found it helpful to add Recoil, a little bit of a curl cream because it has some humidity barrier protection in it. So I'm going in with that. You would think you would need a curl cream in the winter because it's drier. But I actually have found the opposite to be true. I need a curl cream in the summer. I don't know. It's just what I've found. Like I need that little bit more humidity protection. I was surprised by it too. In the winter, my hair doesn't struggle with frizz. And if you think about it, I guess it kind of makes sense because I'm not struggling with frizz in the winter. And what does cream do? It smooths frizz, right? Okay. Ooh, now, definitely don't need that much. A lot came out there. Okay, I wasted a lot of product. Okay, so you can see my hair is dripping wet, and that's really what I want. I actually recommend, if you're not on a live, bring your styling products right into the shower with you, and as soon as you rinse out your conditioner, that's when you want to start applying your styling products while you're still in the shower. Don't get out of the shower to do this. Your whole bathroom's gonna get wet, like what's happening to me right now. It's gonna be a lot easier for you if you do all of this in the shower, and that way, if you get product on yourself, you can rinse off while you're still in the shower. Your hair is also going to be more wet, especially if you have more resistant hair, right after you've shampooed and conditioner. Like, I don't know if you noticed how long it took me for my hair to actually get wet there. I don't even have particularly low porosity hair, but I really wanted my hair to be accepting that water. Not just like surface level wet. Does that make sense? Some people, if you have very high porosity hair, your hair gets wet like the second it gets touched by water, but I don't tend to have that type of hair. Okay, so I'm really kind of focusing that cream on areas where I tend to get that halo frizz. Okay. And now I'm going to get my little spray bottle, my infinity mister, and I'm going to go back in. And now that there's some cream in my hair, it's going to accept the water a little bit more easily than it was before. We're going to keep it nice and saturated. If I have a brush, I might even... There we go. So I'm even going to take a detangling brush and really brush that through to get my hair to accept the water. Okay, so now my hair is starting to feel really wet. Perfect, that's what we want. Now, from here, there are a lot of different ways that you can style your hair. If you have long hair and you are styling your hair for definition, maybe definition and volume, but you really struggle with frizz, the most common technique that, well, actually, we're not even going to get into that just yet. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I'm actually re-wetting my hair until the hair stops accepting the water, like until it's dripping. That happens to me when I use Detox Hair Mask from Intersense, so good. Okay, so you can see how now the water is starting to actually like drip off. So it's starting to no longer accept the water. So now I'm pretty happy with where it's at now. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in, I think, with I've got a couple of options. I think today I'm gonna try styling with just some iCreate definition because we did the recoil, and I don't know, I've been using, I think I am gonna use the iCreate volume. I'm gonna use just a small, I think I'm gonna use the iCreate definition first, okay? So I'm gonna go in, I'm starting with 3 pumps of the iCreate definition. So this is a styling foam, but it's a very unique styling foam. If you've ever worked with foam on your hair before, you know that foam is usually for volumizing, and it's usually very soft hold, or maybe soft to medium hold. 3 more pumps. My hair can take a lot of this product. This is actually the strongest hold product that we carry in the salon. Some people can only tolerate 1 pump of iCreate definition. If you ever use iCreate definition and you can't break the gel cast at the end of it, like your hair is so crunchy that you literally can't get rid of the crunch, it just means you use too much of it. Or you applied it to your hair when your hair was too dry. But it's a great product for people who like a very lightweight, stronghold product. I love it for definition and for stronghold. Yeah, it's an awesome product. I find it very easy to refresh. But yeah, I really like it for very heavy, fine hair, like people who have fine hair but they have a lot of it, and they have like a very heavy curl. Let's see. Yeah, I'm pretty generous with it when I apply it to my hair. And I'm actually gonna brush that through to make sure that it's evenly distributed all throughout my hair. Okay, that should be pretty good. How long does my hair last after wash day? It depends how picky I'm being. So if I'm working in a salon, I'll probably refresh it on Friday. Not fully saturate it, like it'll maybe take me less than 10 minutes to like do a little touch up. Like I might just kind of open up all the curl clumps and then dampen it like maybe 15% and re-diffuse it. Usually that's what my refresh looks like. I usually don't add more product. Maybe a little bit of iCreate definition if it's looking like puffy in some places. Or maybe a little bit of iCreate volume if sometimes as a refreshing product, it depends what my challenges are. Okay. I'm adding like less than a dime size amount of iCreate volume, and I'm specifically adding it at my crown here and the back of my head, and kind of in the areas where my hair tends to get a little bit more stringy. just to help the hair to clump a little bit. Not too much though. Okay. That's my last product. And I think that's what we're gonna work with. And now I'm gonna re-wet my hair. Okay, so, but then how long does once I refresh it again, then I can probably get another 3 days out of it. So I would say Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I can probably get to Monday pretty easily. When my hair was longer, I would style it and get like a full 7 days out of it. Like if I wanted to get a full 7 days out of it, I could refresh it again on Monday and get another 2 days out of it. Like I definitely could. My hair doesn't get oily, so I could just keep refreshing it for 7 days. But I tend to do like a really quick wash on like either like if I have plans on the weekend, for example, I might wash it on like Saturday and do like a very quick wash. Like it takes me longer to style my hair because I'm on the live, so I'm kind of like right now I'm pausing and taking the time to answer questions and stuff like that. But I'll do like maybe like a 30-minute wash and style on Saturday if I'm like going to the bar or just kidding, I never go to the bar. But if I'm having friends over for dinner or something like that, or going to see my family. But I would expect to get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or if I'm not doing anything on the weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So 5 days, somewhere between 4 and 5 days, I would say, would be my expectation. Okay. So I've added all the product to my hair. Okay, so this is what I started to explain earlier. When I had longer hair, I wanted larger curl clumps and I wanted I wanted definition. So I did a technique called the rake and shake method. I have a ton of videos on how to do the rake and shake method that you can check out. However, now I want as much volume as possible. And I'm not afraid of frizz. I'm not worried about frizz. Also, my hair is pretty healthy right now, so it's clumping on its own quite well. So if your hair is not at optimal health, what I call transitioning hair, so if your hair is transitioning, it needs a little bit more help, or you're not happy with the amount of frizz you're getting, you just need a little bit more support in the styling process, try the rake and shake method. Tons of videos about that online, or on my Instagram and TikTok. You can check that out. But if you're just looking for something quick to try, definitely give this routine a try and see if you're happy with the results, especially if you have short hair. Now, the key is your hair needs to be soaking wet. Here we go. I like to take a wide tooth comb. Now, the back section here, I'm literally going to brush it back, and I have a kind of a less dense part at my crown right here. Okay, so I'm intentionally going to part my hair in front of that less dense part, and I'm going to pull it back because I want to cover that less dense part. Otherwise, you're going to see a lot of scalp. Okay, so I'm going to pull that all back. And I'm brushing my hair all down where I want it to live. And now I'm brushing the other direction to lift the hair up off the scalp. For a little bit more volume. Now, people that this technique I find might not work as well for is people whose hair tends to like be very tangly, or it gets like catches. If you have this hair type, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like every time I brush it like that and it stays like that. Those are the people that the rake and shake method is going to be a much better fit for. Okay, and now I'm going to start scrunching. But if you start doing this and you're happy, like it's starting to clump for you, then you know you might be a good candidate. Now, I might use a little bit more I create volume because I feel like it's not clumping a ton on top, and I'm going to add I create volume and I create definition and a little bit of water. And basically I'm just going around and trying to get my hair to lift up off my head and clump. And that's pretty much it for the short hair styling. Once I've started to see those clumps form, yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but like I mixed together some I create definition and I create volume because this section here was getting really stringy, and now it's looking much better. Okay. So now I'm going to take a microfiber towel and I'm going to start moving the excess water. I actually prefer to use a t-shirt towel or just an old t-shirt for this. With my hair, I actually find that a microfiber towel can sometimes create a little bit more frizz, but you can use whatever you find works best for your hair. I maybe should do that little lotion combination at the back of my head as well, but I think it'll be fine. No, it will not. Okay. So just so you can see what I'm seeing, it's kind of looking a little stringy back there, so I'm going to do the same thing that I did on top of my head. Resaturate all back there. If it's starting to look stringy and frizzy now, it's definitely going to, once the hair is dry. So, how does that look? Yeah, so already that looks so much better. So I'm just going to show you the difference. So I mixed together I create volume and I create definition, and now it's just smoothed down so much better. Yay. Now, will it stay smoothed down after I scrunch it? Hopefully. So the first thing I'm going to do now, once I start diffusing, is again, because I have this like flat area at the back of my head, I'm gonna put a root clip in at my bang. Oh my God, my root clips got so rusty while I was traveling. Okay, so I'm putting 2 root clips in. Right there, to kind of hold everything where I want them. And now I'm going to diffuse this back section. So it has memory of like going backwards. So that once I start flipping my hair back and forth, this back section stays going back. Otherwise, it starts to look really thin right there for me. And this is also true, like if you have bangs, you can diffuse your bangs first. If you like to have a very defined part, I would recommend you start to diffuse your part first. If you have a cowlick, you can kind of pinch your cowlick closed. Anything that you want to like break, like any partings that you want to cover, break, fix, you always want to diffuse those first, because once they have been set, they're going to be really, really difficult to break or to kind of like fix after the fact. Like I have a cowlick right here, which is why I use root clips like pretty much right away during the drying process, so that my cowlick in my bangs doesn't start to split. By the way, if you do have a cowlick in your bangs, that is the secret, is root clips. Okay. So, now I think I'm pretty much going to go straight into diffusing my hair upside down. One sec. I might take a second and diffuse my bangs before. Okay, perfect. So now I'm going to start flipping my hair upside down, and I'm pretty much going to pixie diffuse my hair for the rest of the time. So there's 2 main diffusing techniques. The first one is hover diffusing, and hover diffusing is essentially what you just saw me doing. It creates the least amount of frizz, but it also doesn't do anything to encourage your curl pattern or encourage volume. The second diffusing technique is what I do for most of my diffusing, and that is pixie diffusing. Okay? Now, pixie diffusing has the potential to start introducing frizz into your hair routine if you're not careful, because your hair is extremely fragile when it's wet. So if you're extremely prone to frizz, then you might want to start with cover diffusing for a little while before you get into pixie diffusing. However, I tend not to be super prone to frizz these days, and I'm not afraid of a little bit of frizz, so I tend to be okay to go straight into pixie diffusing. We'll see how that goes today. I don't know, I might have way too much product in my hair today. I might have to rinse some of it out after. So basically I go straight into pixie diffusing, but I hold my positions for a little bit longer. Now, one of the things that I saw them doing at Rezo, because I have always held my positions while pixie diffusing for quite a while to really reduce the amount of frizz that I get. But at Rezo, they don't do that. They really move the diffuser like a lot, like this. Now, they also use quite a bit of product, and they tend to not use any creams on wavy. At all. No leave-in, no curl cream, nothing. But they use a lot of serums, like oils at the end, and they start applying serum at this stage while the hair is still wet. Now, I don't use oils really to slick down the frizz, and I do use a little bit of a cream this time of year. So, I don't think I can get away with moving the diffuser that much because I don't really have anything to slick down the frizz as it gets created. But I do think there's some learning there because that is the way that Rezo gets so much volume, is by moving the diffuser that much. So anyways, I did find that really interesting. It just goes to show there's really no right or wrong way to style curly hair. It's all about whether or not you like the results you're getting. So I think I'm going to move, I'm like tempted to move the diffuser a little bit more today to get more volume, but I'm also nervous. Yeah, I definitely don't mind a little frizz with the haircut I have right now. It's a very round shape, very similar to the Rezo cut. I have a Kato cut, I don't have a Rezo cut, but it's similar to the Rezo cut. So because of that, I definitely don't mind a little frizz. I find if it's too perfect, it looks a little Shirley Temple, which is a vibe, but it's not the vibe I'm going for. So because of that, I don't mind a little frizz, but if I get too much frizz, I don't get longevity out of this style. So I prefer to have more definition, but then to strategically introduce frizz with how I finish the style. Does that make sense? Like the way I shake it out, maybe when I refresh on day 2, you know? Or day 3, I should say. Kato cut. Very similar in shape to a Rezo cut. To be honest, I had a Kato cut. Marilyn gave me a little bit of an edit afterwards because I wanted my bangs a little bit more wider. so I don't know if it's a true Kato cut anymore. It was a Kato cut, but I have a very round shape. The Kato and the Rezo are very similar. Marilyn, if you're new here, Marilyn is my salon owner. And she's Kato cut certified, Rezo. I believe Rezo level 2, but don't quote me on that. I know she has her Rezo level 1. She's getting her Rezo level, she's going for her Rezo level 3 in June, for sure. But I'm not sure if she's getting her 2 and 3 at the same time, or if she already has her level 2. In June, or in July. And then of course she's Diva certified as well. Okay, we're getting there. Hi, Christina. I'm glad you're loving it. Woo. I'm going back to school at Algonquin to finish my apprenticeship program. This was a summer of education. So I just got my Rezo certification. I'm in the salon this week. And then next week, I'm back at Algonquin to finish up my apprenticeship training. And then I'm done all my apprenticeship education. Of course, my education isn't done. You never stop your training as a hairstylist. You're always doing annual education, ongoing education, and professional development for the rest of your career. But I'm done. Then I'm away from the salon for 8 weeks, and then, yeah. So I'm excited. This takes a lot of patience. It's a struggle. I mean, I don't mind. I'm like, honestly, I could, like, look how much curl I've got already. It's been maybe 15, 20 minutes of doing this. If I wanted to air dry the rest of the way from here, I absolutely could. I've got a great cast. Like, we're done, essentially. I like to do it all the way because I'm going to a salon. I have to go with dry hair to the salon. So, but if you wanted to air dry the rest of the way from here, don't break the cast until it's 100% dry. Bring a little bit of a shine serum or a hair oil with you for once it's 100% dry to break your cast. but you could absolutely air dry the rest of the way from here if you just like hit your wall, you're out of time. Once you've got a good gel cast and you're happy with the amount of curl you have, if you have to air dry the rest of the way, that's fine. You might lose a little bit of the potential curl, but a lot of my clients don't want their hair to be maximum curl anyways, especially if you're getting this much curl. Now, I like my hair to be as curly as possible, but like had I not been on a live today, we started at 7:15. Would have taken me maybe 5-6 minutes to do the full, like, you know, you guys saw me put my products in and rake out to get the clumps. And then the diffusing takes me longer when I'm on live because I keep pausing and answering questions and stuff. But considering I don't do my hair again for like 5 days, guys, I straightened my hair last week. It was so much more work because every single night I'd go to bed and the whole nape of my neck gets curly because I sweat at night. I don't know about any of you, but I sweat at night, so it all gets curly again. So I end up having to flat iron it pretty much every morning again before I go out the door. It is so much less work for me to wear it curly. I cannot tell you. So like, there's a light at the end of the tunnel here. Once you start kind of figuring out the products that are right for you, once you figure out your routine, once these habits become normalized to you, there's a light at the end of the tunnel where this becomes easier than wearing your hair straight. So I hear a lot of comments of like, oh, I'm so glad I don't have curly hair. This is so much work. Like, I don't know. This doesn't, like, to me, this is just my life. It doesn't feel like that much work to me. When I used to straighten my hair all the time, that was a lot of work. I could never wear my hair down because it was just so much work to wear my hair straightened all the time. Okay. I think, okay, so I'm going to start breaking the cast a little bit. It's a good hair day. Oh, it's definitely just my hair needs the recoil under it this time of year. Alright, so now I'm going to kind of style everything straight back because I feel like I have a hole right here on my head. I always think I'm adding too much product, but when you add it with enough water and you're using lightweight enough products, you can get away with a fair amount of it. 80% water, 20% products, and products that are the right weight for your hair. That is so important, finding products that are very lightweight. So if you have fine hair, you may want to be cautious always buying products that are meant for curly hair. Just because you have spirals doesn't mean you need to use a curly shampoo and conditioner. This is huge, okay? I wouldn't be tempted to always buy products for your curl pattern. See, I would be much more inclined to want to buy products for your hair texture. So fine hair, medium hair, like thicker hair strands, like that is going to guide you a lot better than your hair texture. Because if you think about it, then your curl pattern. If you think about it, if you have two people, one person has baby fine hair and like, you know, like roughly a Sharpie size curl pattern. And then another person has a very, very thick hair strand and also a Sharpie size hair curl pattern. Do you think those two people use the same products? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So then how can we sell products based on curl pattern? It doesn't make sense. So be very cautious buying products based on your curl pattern. Definitely buy products based on what your goals are, and buy products, and that doesn't mean I want my hair to be curly, so I should buy curl products. That means I want my hair to have lots of volume, so maybe I'll buy volumizing products. I want, you know, things like that. And definitely aim to buy products that tend to be more catered towards if you have thicker hair strands, you might buy products that tend to be for thick or coarse hair. If you tend to have very fine hair, you might buy products that tend to be for fine hair, things like that. I'm not familiar with cysteine treatment. So the products that I use today, I used a little bit of AG Recoil because it has humidity barrier protection and some moisture in it. I emulsified it before I put it into my hair on soaking wet hair. Then I re-wet my hair and I added a very generous amount of I Create Definition styling foam. My hair can tolerate a lot of this styling foam, but there's a lot of people out there who can only handle 1 or 2 pumps of it. So just to be aware, my hair can take a lot of it. My hair can take a lot of product, of lightweight product. And then I went in with some I Create volume with like a few pumps of the I Create Definition mixed in. And I kind of glazed that over the areas like the top and the back that weren't clumping the way I wanted it to. This just adds like some clumpiness to the hair. Okay, so let's take stock of where we're at. I feel like I wasn't paying attention to how the diffusing was going. Okay, so we're going pretty well there. Ooh, hello. I have one little damp spot at the back. If your hair is naturally very silky and you want more volume, you need to alter the texture of your hair to be able to build that volume. And you probably know this on some level. As somebody with silky hair, that curl, that volume always just slips out of your hair. So the best way to start to build that volume is to add a little bit of grit or texture to your hair. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do that. You can do that with sometimes some foams can introduce a little bit of grit to your hair. A lot of people do this with like a texture spray sprayed at your roots. You're going to see me do this in just a moment. I'm going to use, I think it's called Swept Up by Oribe, and I'm going to spray some of that at my roots to help. You can see right here where I have a flat spot. I'm going to spray it at the roots there to help build a little bit of volume there because I tend to have pretty silky hair. And it's one of those things like you can shake your hair out and it might stay for a second, but if your hair is too silky, it will just fall down. So the back of your hair, the key is like paying attention to it during the styling process. And one of the big things is I see a lot of people, every time they pull their hair forward, they rake their hands. They're like pulling it forward while it's soaking wet. Use momentum to flip your hair forward. If you keep raking your hands through the back of your head while the hair is wet, you're gonna make stringiness all back there. So be very mindful of how you're touching your hair, especially while it's really wet. Okay, so let's get to the Oribe swept up. Uh-oh. I will be so sad. Oh, yeah, my God. I thought I left it in New York. I was going to cry. This is a lot of work. Then don't do it. I style my hair about once every 5 days. I'm on live, so it takes a little bit longer. When I'm not on live, it takes me about 35 minutes, 40 minutes. It took me a lot longer to flat iron my hair, I'll tell you that much. I have a lot, I've got a fair amount of hair. It's pretty thick. So no matter what I do to my hair, it's going to take a lot of time. But yeah, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. I'm also a hairstylist. I work in a salon, so I love doing my hair. It's a hobby for me. As I've been styling my hair today, I talked about a lot of different times when you could opt out to make it easier. When my hair was casted, I was like, you can stop now and just let it air dry the rest of the way. Yeah. But obviously I can't show up with my hair wet at a hair salon. Okay, so see how there's like a flat spot here at the back of my head? So I'm going to get in there with a texture spray. And I'm going to aim it properly. And I'm going all the way around the flat spot. And I'm kind of going a little outside of it too. Anywhere where I kind of want to start to build volume. I'm pretty generous with this stuff. Okay, so now I'm going to take a hair oil to start to break the cast. I actually would prefer to use, I would prefer to use the Inner Peace cream texturizer, which is like a cream that you can use to break the cast that also like opens everything up and it really like adds a little bit of volume, but I don't have that at home. So I'm just going to use a hair oil. Okay, I'm going to break the cast, diffuse it a little bit more.
Okay, and now I'm going to try and get that shine serum off my hands because I don't want the shine serum on my hands when I start shaking out the roots. Hi.
I'm kind of going through and breaking up this back section. Okay, I'm just gonna see how the back is like. Oh, I think I need to break up the back a little bit more. I feel like it's not dense enough. There we go. Just so you can see what I'm, well, oops. Actually, it's pretty good. Okay. So, that's pretty much it. From there, it's really just playing with it to like open things up. So you can see I'm literally just like playing with the curls to get them like lying where I want them. I'm like opening up my bangs a little bit, but yeah. I basically, sorry. But yeah, I basically have it where I want it now. I've got nice full back, lots of volume. Yeah, so that's my hair routine. I'm a hairstylist. I work in Ottawa, Canada. I specialize in curls. If you are looking for an appointment, the link for my salon is called Curlology. You are welcome to book an appointment. I have online booking. I do different types of appointments. A first-time curly cut involves curl coaching, your curly cut, your consultation, a clarifying treatment, a deep treatment, all that great stuff to give you everything you need to be able to go home and get started on your curly hair journey and recreate everything that we have done in the salon, so you get really well set up. You can also come in though just for a curl coaching appointment. So that involves everything I just talked about, but it does not involve your dry cut. So if you're just looking to kind of dip your toes in the water, but you're not ready for a cut just yet, I know lots of people are a little nervous about getting their hair cut, we offer that one-on-one curl coaching appointment as well. So there's lots of different ways that we can have our first date. If you're in or near the Ottawa area, or you're looking to make a road trip, the link in my bio has the link to the salon, and you can book online. This is my last week in the salon, although I do have a last minute opening at the end of the day today. I had a cancellation. So if you wanted to get in today, you probably could. But other than that, I don't have any more openings now, I think until either end of August or September. But yeah, hope to see you soon. Otherwise, I hope you have a great summer. My schedule is going to be changing for the summer. You can follow on my stories. I will still be going live throughout the summer. It might just be either in the evenings or a little, it might still be on Wednesdays. I'll have to take a look on my schedule on what day it's going to be on, but I'm definitely still going to be going live. Last summer I took a hiatus while I was in school. This summer I'm not going to do that. I'm still going to go live once a week because I missed you guys. Yeah. So anyways, it's been great. Love you all. Okay, bye-bye.